How's that? That was good. Okay, yesterday, we only have a little bit to do. We were working on cellulose. Here comes somebody. Keep going, we're on video. Keep going, keep going. Welcome to my life, interruptions all of the time. Random people on stage. We were talking about cellulose, and here's how it's different. Remember, it's got alternating alpha, beta, alpha, beta, alpha, beta. So the 6 carbon keeps getting flipped. Because of that, what can you do with cellulose that you can't do with amylose?
Pack it tighter.
Yeah, what's that called?
Nesting.
Nesting. And when you get nesting, what will form?
H2 bonds.
Hydrogen bonds, and then that increases the strength. And don't forget, in plants, amylose is used for what? Just reviewing. We're on video. Make it look good. Say food.
Food.
Amylose is food. But in plants, cellulose is not food. It's what?
Structure.
That's structure. So what do we need? We need strength out of this molecule. There is one additional piece. As these molecules start to nest, they actually start to twist. Has anybody ever seen the cables that hold up the Golden Gate Bridge?
No. Yeah.
You need to investigate them because they're actually just cables wound around each other and then bigger cables wound around each other until eventually they got a cable this big and it supports a bridge over the San Francisco Bay. We didn't invent those things. Nature already did it. It's called cellulose. Now there's one more. What was I doing? Letters or numbers? Let's see. 3 numbers. Number 4, there's one more. Does anybody remember the name of the strength molecule?
Chitin.
Stop chitting around. Molecule
Chitin.
in the exoskeletons of arthropods. You will also find this stuff in the cell walls of some fungi. You can say fungi or whatever you want, it's okay. That's a U. And that is chitin. Now here's the cool part. You guys know I love this about nature. Nature does not reinvent the wheel. It takes the wheel, modifies the wheel to get new functions out of pretty much the same thing. So you go to the animal kingdom, and chitin is very similar to, you guessed it, cellulose. Watch this. Are you ready? Characteristics of chitin. And in this case, I would have to agree with Maley's former statement where
there wasn't a lot of different content in carbohydrates because it's pretty much all the same.
Quote, but not with that weird voice or attitude. Ready? Chitin is a straight chain polymer. It's a straight chain. Ooh. It has several hundred residues.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? They are all 1,4 bonds. Now, if I stop there, it sounds like amylose. But here's how you make the connection with cellulose. Those 1,4 bonds are all what? What?
Alpha, beta.
They are alternating. Alpha, beta. So that's going to give us the flip-flop. Let's anticipate. If I flip-flop every other residue, what am I going to be able to do with chitin like I was able to do with cellulose?
Jacket.
I can nest them. When I nest them, what will be forming?
The twist. Right? The twist.
Not yet. When I nest
H2
them,
bonds.
hydrogen bonds. When I get a lot of hydrogen bonds in the same sample, what increases?
Strength.
Yeah, and this is the strength molecule in the cell walls and the exoskeletons of some animals. Oh, now let me show it to you. You should be thinking, what's the residue? What's the residue? Well, here's the cool part. This one is actually an amino polysaccharide. So the planet, in its infinite wisdom through evolution, decided, hey, you want to make sugars or polysaccharides better? Let's blend in a little protein component and put the two worlds together chemically. I'm going to show you the residue. It looks like this. Nah, that's right. 7 or 8 lines. I don't draw things real little though. If I stopped right there, it's kind of looking like what? like it always does. Glucose, but it's not. Watch. That alcohol group's going to be in the up position, and then right here, there's the amino group, the most common base in the human body. You guys know, what is that unshared pair going to do in solution? I already taught it to you. What's that unshared pair going to do? One unshared pair has a greater affinity for blank than two unshared pairs.
Water.
H plus, and what is an H plus? That's a proton. So there's going to be a proton sitting right here. Ah, what did it just do to that end of the molecule?
It just made it charged.
It charged it.
Partially.
It charged it. So then we're going to go right here. There's a C double bonded O, and then a CH3. That is the amino portion of the amino polysaccharide. And then there's an OH group right there. That is the residue. Yes?
I'm complaining.
Complaining?
You always
You're
tell us to write down further, and the one time I write down further, I have to run off the page. Because you tell
We
us
were
to-
going
So
down
you are blaming me on camera for something that you did.
Yeah, because yesterday you told us to always move it, stuff down. Because you
I
always
did, I
say
had
write
to go
up.
this way.
Because you always say you write upwards, you didn't write upwards. you
I
wrote
repeat for the
downwards.
sake of YouTube. You are blaming me for something that you just did.
Yes.
Okay, as long as we got that clear. I apologize for something that I didn't do, or that I did.
You did do.
I don't know. Now, watch this. Let's turn this into a stick model. Okay, ready? And we'll end with this. So there's the straight chain polymer right there. But now the 6 carbon is on top, and then that amino group is on the bottom. I'll draw it smaller just so there's some differentiation. And then when I flip it, the little one, the big one's on the bottom, and then the little one. And then we get the big one, etc., etc., etc. So now you can see I can still do what with them? I can stack them or nest them, but now we have charge components on both sides. So it's not flipping every other one, it's flipping, 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 flipping. So now I get even more what? Strength or hydrogen bonds, good. I'll do 2 up arrows because it's huge now because of the amino portion that's added, okay? So that means we get a super increase in strength. I said it correctly.
No, you didn't.
Strength. I said it correctly.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Zip it up, we're on camera.
Wait,
Zip it
I
up,
just-
we're on
I
camera.
just showed
We're
you
on
something.
camera.
I
We're,
just showed you
no,
something.
later.
You're like 2 people.
We're videotaping. Welcome to my world. Okay. Now, you guys should already know this. If you increase the concentration of chitin in any organism or any structure, it's actually what? It's hard. It's not flexible like cellulose. It's strong and it's hard. You guys know this because when you step on an insect that has chitin in its exoskeleton, what sound does it make? Crunch. It pops. And then when you look at the shells of larger arthropods, they don't use calcium salts like we do. They use chitin, an amino polysaccharide. Wow. Any questions? That ends the instruction that we were supposed to finish yesterday, and now we're ready for the test tomorrow.